Hey world, hey. I said that I was going to come back and record again from the road. And I am on the road, not currently driving. I made a stop. So my journey was from North Carolina and I'm going to Texas. I stopped off in Alabama to see my mom. Stayed there for a bit, got some sleep, got a bath, got some food my mama cooked. And now, because of Hurricane Ida, that came through August 29th and did some damage in Louisiana, my route had to be detoured a bit. So I have a very good friend that I've had since I was probably about 3 years old or so. Like, we've known each other forever. And she lives in Mississippi. And I haven't seen her for a few years. She told me that she was hurt and she was upset that I was going through Mississippi, but I hadn't said anything about stopping by, or I hadn't made any plans to come see her. Now, from my mom's house to Texas is like a straight shot, and she, my friend, is a bit of a detour from that route. However, like I said, because of the hurricane, everything is being detoured. So I'm stopping by. She's not here yet. I didn't tell her I was coming. She ran an errand with a family member or something, so she's not here at the moment, but I have spoken with her since I've gotten to her house, and she will be back soon. She's like super excited, and it's really crazy because I mean, I'm literally traveling and I'm in a rental car. This is not my car. And I'm kind of on a time crunch, which I'm already going to be late because I had to kind of detour out of the normal route anyway. Sorry, she messaged me and she's talking about getting something to eat or whatever. I'm not really here to visit. And that's going to be the bad part. Like, she's offered to help me with the ride and, you know, the move and all, but I'm all like, everything's everywhere, so there's no space for another person to ride or drive unless one of us gonna hang on the roof, and I'm really not trying to do that. So I appreciate the offer. But I love the road. Like, I love road tripping. This is my area of, like, this is my happy place. Oh, my skin is jacked up, guys. Like, yeah, it's been a rough couple of days. This is actually decent for my eczema. It's been worse. We don't want worse. We do want better. So I have to get back to my apartment in Texas and get my life together, get my skin right, because my face is breaking out. It's not okay. Anywho, back to the story. So yeah, this is my happy place. So I'm like perfectly fine driving the distance from North Carolina to Texas. Of course, you know, my mom is my mom, so she's concerned. So I do stop by my mom's house and, you know, get something to eat, take a bath, take a nap, and all that stuff. And then, you know, she'll try to hold me hostage. She's like, you need a good night's sleep. I need a nap. I'm okay. But I did sleep. I got there yesterday evening about 6 or so. So I ate, we watched a movie, I did her hair, and then I slept for a bit. So I got up this morning and got back on the road. Yep, we're just gonna see what happens, because like I said, I haven't seen my friend in a few years. and she's always wanting to travel and hang out with me, but that's the thing, because like I haven't really gone anywhere or done anything in a long time. When I moved to North Carolina, I was, focused on trying to get a job and then getting myself situated, and I moved there to help out my family, and I was helping them out, and I was, getting myself together, getting on my feet, and the whole time I was there, I'm like, I'm going back to school. I never went back to school. And as time went on, I didn't have to help out as much. And then it was like I wasn't doing anything else. I would work maybe 2 or 3 jobs at a time. And I would help out with my family, and that would keep me just in a routine of this is what's, my day to day. And there was really nothing else going on. I only went home June. June was the last time I went back to Michigan in June, and the last time I went home before that, Michigan, years before I moved to North Carolina. Since I've lived in North Carolina, I don't really think I've done any traveling. I went back to Alabama to visit my mom, and then that was right before COVID. So in 2018, I had 2 car accidents 4 months apart, at the very same intersection. That's the part that tripped me out. I was like, I'm not going down that street again. I'm good. Like, I'm not gonna give you a third chance to take me out. So the first accident, my sister, myself, and my nephew were in the car, and some girl, 7-something in the morning, flying down the street, ran a red light and completely flipped us around, totaled my car. From that accident, I did have an injury that took a while to work through. My sister had to go to physical therapy. I had to go to physical therapy. I had to have surgery after a certain point in time, and so it was not great. I had gotten a new car, and this was 4 months after the accident, and very same exact intersection. I'm driving down the street, minding my own business, and someone else, zoom, comes down. They're coming off of the freeway, and apparently their brakes didn't work. So they're zooming off the freeway. They hit another car. That car hits me. I turn and hit somebody. It was a mess. That vehicle was totaled out. So after 2018, it was just like a lot of doctor's appointments, physical therapies. I missed work. My blood pressure was always up. It was a mess. So 2018 was kind of a sucky year, and I had just moved into my apartment like right before the second accident. And when I moved into I had to move out of the apartment I really liked, because after the first accident, I wasn't going to work. I don't have any money, so I had to downsize and had to go somewhere kind of cheap just to maintain and get myself in a position to just whatever happened at that point. It was like, I couldn't stay in the place where I was living and pay all the bills and not go to work because I'm injured. So then I just moved into that apartment, and then I was hit the second time. So I was just kind of dealing with life. And that may have been a big part of what got me stuck in the rut that I feel that I'm in now, or that I'm getting out of now. Yeah, after that I had some struggle time with just driving. And the first time I wasn't even driving the car. Like, my sister was driving when we got hit the first time. The second time, like I said, I was hit by somebody else who hit somebody else. And then I had to go to court for this stuff, and it was crazy. So yeah, 2018 was kind of rough. 2019 was a year of just like recovery and trying to get back on my feet and figure out like how to make the next step. So 2020, I was in a better headspace. I was ready. I had trips lined up. I was supposed to go to Vegas in March. I was supposed to go on a cruise in June or July, I think. I was going to plan a trip back to Detroit. I was going to plan another trip to go see my mom. I was just going to hang out and do things. The friend that I'm coming to visit now, she and I were talking about making some trip, like just doing things. She always wants to go on a trip anyway. But 2020, I was ready. I had bought new luggage. I started shopping. I got a bunch of Fashion Nova dresses. I thought I was cute. And Corona said, nope, you're not going anywhere. Have a seat. So with that, I became an essential worker. I became a hero. I worked in the hospital. I worked and I worked and I worked. It was very scary. It was very different. The world was shut down, but I was still going to work. I was still having to wear a mask 24/8. I was taking care of people who weren't taking care of themselves. Now, the unit where I worked in the hospital, the patients that I took care of, they were, at a certain point, they were supposed to be tested in the ER before they were sent to the floor, because they would have interactions with other patients going back and forth in certain units or whatever. So every now and again they would slip a patient in there that may have been positive, and it was like, that's scary. And then December 2020, I tested positive. I had 2 healthcare jobs. I wasn't doing a lot of out and about, trying to, move around and do things, not trying to fly anywhere, not trying to go, barely wanted to go to the grocery store. It was just like, I did what I had to do. But somehow, I still tested positive. I don't think it was Corona personally, because I have asthma, I have like bronchitis, I have, issues with my breathing anyway. So I personally, like I said, I did test positive. So it might have been Rona. But I was quarantined for Christmas, so I couldn't even see my family. I was like waving to my niece and nephew through the window, like, hi, Merry Christmas. I wasn't allowed to like give them their gifts. I had to quarantine the gifts. I had to like Lysol everything, wipe everything down with like, bleach and everything, and put that in a room by itself. And then I'm in another room by myself, even though I lived alone. It was like I couldn't even, give the kids their stuff, because that's gotta, we gotta let those germs die. So like that sucked. And like I said, I was working 2 healthcare jobs, dealing with the pandemic, dealing with, personal things, and just feeling, I guess, defeated. I felt out of sorts. I eventually reached out and started to talk to a therapist, because I was not okay. I'm still not okay, but I'm getting there. I'm working on it. Talking to her, it helped. It helped just to be heard, and just to get it out and try to sort everything, because in my head everything was just kind of jumbled up and everything was just all at once. Everything was just happening in my brain. It was, friendships, situationships, work, pandemic, just life. I want to do everything. I can't do anything, but I'm going to work, taking care of people that are sick, that are not taking care of themselves. Not the corona people. I mean, I have worked on the unit with corona patients, and that's, a different situation. But my patients, like my regulars, sometimes I have to get on them because they do things that they know they're not supposed to do. I had one patient, like, they were regular patients, so I knew, we had a good rapport. I knew some of them, like, we were friendly enough without, crossing any type of work boundaries or whatever. But yeah, I have patients that are telling me about all kind of food that they're eating. It's not part of their diet. They're going and doing this, that, the next, and the third. You're not supposed to be doing stuff like that. And so, they weren't doing what they were supposed to do, and they know. They're fully aware. So yeah, taking care of patients that weren't taking care of themselves. But they're still my patients. I was essential. I was a hero, and I was doing my part. It was very overwhelming. It was a lot. So I had to do something. And this is what happened. I quit my jobs, packed up my apartment, and I moved to Texas. There was no plan in place. There was no research being done. It was, this is what's happening. So now I'm figuring it out. I do feel a little better just because I'm not in the same routine. I'm on the road. I love traveling, and I still, keep my mask. I have like wipes. Still being safe. Not really trying to interact with a whole lot of people. Like I said, just visiting the one friend and getting back on my merry little way. But that's pretty much how life is going right now. And gonna figure it out and get back to me. And yeah, my hair's been wrapped since, like, I got it done. I'll comb it down one of these days. And my skin is raggedy and a mess. And I mean, I'm not gonna come on ever with like a full face. Like, that's just not something that I do. I don't like buy lashes and do makeup all the time, and I don't do that. But right now I'm just kind of sitting and waiting, and I'll record again sometime soon, I guess. One of these days I'll actually post them.